Let me tell you firsthand, having a beard is amazing. It helps your face be a little more symmetrical. It can hide any imperfections on your face, so any permanent scars, any pimples or anything like that you got going on right over here, it can hide it perfectly. Not to mention, women do love a guy who can grow out a beard, but I know the biggest challenge for a lot of guys is that when they start growing out a beard, it can come out looking a little patchy or not so much as what they were expecting to grow. So today's video is dedicated to those that have a little bit of a harder time growing out a beard. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to HB Fashion. If you're new here, my name is Zach Fobbs. In today's video, I'm going over 7 tips to help any guy grow out a beard. Starting with the first one, it takes time. A lot of guys seem to give up on themselves after just 2 weeks of trying to grow out a beard, and they're just dealing with nothing but a bunch of patches and some places in their faces where it's just growing out unevenly. I'm telling you guys, it takes weeks for you to grow out a full-fledged beard, or at least to see what you can really work with naturally before you have to give your body just a little bit of help. For example, me, if I were to go completely clean shaven, it will probably take me, I would say, anywhere between like a month and a half to 2 months to get my beard in a position where I really want it to be. So if you're fully dedicated to this, remember to just take your time, be patient with yourself, be patient with your body, and the following tips are something that I know that each and every single one of you can implement during this time to help your beard come out nice and full. Which brings me to number 2, you need to have a well-balanced diet. If you guys want anything good to come out of your body, you need to give it what it needs. So going out and just eating a bunch of sweets, fast foods is not what it really needs, and it's gonna produce something that you don't want. And this is just not for just beard growth. If you want to have a nice body, you want to have more energy all throughout the day, you need to give your body the diet that it needs to help you produce that. So for beard growth, I would make sure you are taking in some lean protein, so like fish, chicken, or pork or something like that. And you also want to make sure you're staying away from like really fatty and greasy foods. And at the same time, if you're taking supplements to help your beard out a little bit more, I would make sure you have a nice balance of like B6, B12, or biotin, just to help bringing your beard a little bit more healthier and a little bit fuller. Number 3, plan it out. You need to have a clear vision of what you want your beard to look like once you're done growing it out. So for example, with my beard, I know it looks a little weird right now. I normally don't trim it down to this low of a level, but I didn't really like how patchy and how hard it was to look even whenever I would try to naturally grow it out. So I decided to start from scratch and just start growing it out a little bit more. But this time I have a clear vision of what I want. I want it to kind of come out maybe just about here-ish and just have like a nice fade where it's like light on top and just gets darker when it comes to like the bottom of my chin. It's just something I think I could really pull off, and I'm just really gonna try to go for it. So this time around, I'm gonna make sure I'm paying better attention to how my skin is underneath it. I'm gonna make sure I'm taking care of it and just make sure that I'm just keeping in line with the goal that I set out for myself. Number 4, exfoliate your beard. One of the biggest mistakes that I used to make is whenever I used an exfoliating scrub, I would just scrub around the area of my face where no hair was growing, and I would just skip over my beard, which is a huge mistake. You have to think about your beard as a crop. If you want it to produce something great, you have to make sure that the soil underneath it, or in this case your skin, is nice and healthy. And what exfoliating is going to do is going to help stimulate the blood flow in this area and help bring out those nutrients to your beard so it can grow out nice and healthy. Not to mention, it's going to help open up your pores just a little bit so that you won't have as much ingrown hairs in your face whenever you are growing out a beard. Just the hair follicles to just come out nice and smooth without any resistance. I would just say, just make sure that you're doing this no more than maybe a couple of times a week. I would say for your beard, I would say maybe just once a week, just to make sure that you're not overdoing it. You're not gonna be thinning out your beard, because it can cause damage if you're doing it almost on a daily basis. Number 5, trim as you go. Now we know that it is important to have a beard and a comb whenever you are growing out a beard, just to help guide your beard and give it some nice direction in terms of where you want it to grow. But whenever you are combing it out, have you ever just hit like a knot or just felt resistance or like some hair breaking as you're just going through your beard? That's a sign that you need to in fact go in and trim that specific area where that knot is. So one of the good ways to do this, and it just takes some time to learn how to detect it, but just go into your beard and just try to like pick it out. And anytime you feel like a knot or like any resistance or anything like that, it's something you can't really pull out a single strand and just let it just flow naturally, then it's time to take some clippers, and more specifically some shears or some scissors that are made specifically for trimming up a beard, and just go in and just trim it off, and you should be good to go. What this will also do is help you fight any like straggling or like stringy, long stringy hairs, and keep your beard looking nice and tame, shaped up, and therefore it's going to look fuller and a little bit more healthier. Number 6, be cautious what you hear on the internet. I know there are a lot of companies, there are a lot of guys out there that are giving out some amazing advice on how you can grow a great looking beard. I'll say about 80% of what you come across online you can 100% trust, but there are a lot of those that are out there, that 20% that are giving you some false information, or they're just either trying to push some really shoddy product to you that is going to overall in the long run damage your beard. So I would just make sure that whatever you do try to help you out in terms of beard growth or anything like that, do your research and make sure that you're putting in something into your body that you trust, and you're going to make sure it's not going to hurt you in the long run. And if all else fails, you still can't grow out a great looking beard that you have dreamed of, then you might need to accept the number 7, and that's, it might not be in your genes, bro. So you might need to do some digging and talk to like your mom or your dad or your granddad and see if there's anyone in your family, anyone that is directly related to you, and see if they have the ability to grow facial hair. And for a lot of guys, that may be the case. So you might need to do some digging, see if there's any recollection of any beard growth in your genes, and if not, it might be time for you to start accepting what you can grow out and to see what best way you can style that. Or it just might be time for you to go clean shaven, which in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with that. There are some handsome looking guys that can honestly rock the clean shaven look way better than they can with a patchy looking beard. But that's it today, guys. What are some beard related questions that you guys have that I did not cover in this video? Let me know in the comment sections below, and I'll be discussing with you guys after I drop this video. But if you liked today's video and you learned something from it, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. Help us build the HB community. If you guys are not following me on Instagram and on TikTok, I'll have them both linked in the description below. They're both at Mr. HB Fashion. I post a lot of fashion and grooming inspirations on there, and it can give you guys a little bit more of a detailed deep dive on what I'm wearing and what I'm up to all throughout the day. But thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I'll see you next time.